include gratuity, so you have to leave your own tip.
Okay, and tax.
For the waitress. So
A tip, okay.
No taxes included,
Well,
but just not the tip.
You probably wouldn't tip on $3. You'd probably tip on the price of the meal too.
Right.
You know,
So,
be a little reasonable about this.
But as far as, we're not trying to sell you anything. We have talked to the restaurants a little bit about having some presentations there or having the nurse in from time to time, and whether she does a formal presentation or she just sits in a booth and has a little sign saying the nurse is in, come ask me a question, so that people can approach her and ask her health questions.
She an RN?
She is.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah, Allison Espin is our nurse educator. We also have Becky Blum, who's a nurse, and she's the head of the nutrition program. And then we have a dietitian, Cheryl Gustafson, who's been working with the restaurants to make up that special senior menu. And she's also available from time to time. Some people have special dietary needs, and maybe they want to ask the dietitian something. So we haven't done it yet, but we may set up a day like once a month or once every other month that they can be around, maybe probably during the lunchtime meal. So if people do want to ask them questions, but it's up to you if you come up to them and ask them something. We're not going to shove anything down your throat that you don't want to have. So
well, that's
not the way Office for the Aging works.
Yeah, it sounds like just a wonderful deal for people. And again, seniors are having such a tough time of it now, more and more of them, because their Social Security is being cut back sharply with inflation.
Right, and we just finished Part D counseling, but the regular Medicare...
Explain what Part D is.
Well, that's the prescription drug plans. And so if you wanted to change your prescription drug plan, you have some time in the fall to do that every year. If your Medicare Part D plan is not doing it for you because you're paying a lot out of pocket, every year there's a certain open enrollment time up till December 31st that you can change your plans. Now, if you've never signed up for a Medicare D plan, you can do that anytime. But you can only change your existing plan during the fall of the year until December 31st. Now, the regular insurance, some people have Medicare Advantage plans. You can still decide to change that now, probably until the end of March for most plans. So if your regular health insurance is not meeting your needs, then you can come in and meet with a counselor at our offices. We give you free, unbiased counseling, so we kind of compare the plan you have to other plans that are in the area, tell you the pros and cons of them so that you can make an informed decision. We don't sign you up for anything. It's your decision whether you change your plan or keep your existing plan.
Well, good enough. But the drug scene is a terrible scene for seniors in many cases. We do have Epic still, and we have a couple other programs. But what is the one that they use for Alzheimer's? It's very common. It's
I've forgotten.
It escapes me right now. But it runs $240 a month for my sad wife here.
Yes,
and,
yes. Some of them are very expensive.
Yeah, it is. It's horrific, and that's for 30 tablets. They are having a generic coming out. Their license expires. It's Astra. What is it? What the heck is that called?
As soon as we go on to another topic,
we'll
I'll remember
right.
it. But
come on out there, somebody help us. Nobody out there has Alzheimer's. They can't help us. We might be in that situation here. But at any rate, it's going to go generic at the end of the year.
That's
so
good. That'll be good for a lot of people. But have you ever looked up? I don't know if the viewers watch WNED. But there were some terrific programs about the brain and about brain plasticity, how your brain changes no matter what age you are, and different things that you can do to stave off dementia and Alzheimer's. So I would encourage people to look into that if it's going to be on, and look up on your computer about brain games. There are particular games out there now that really stimulate your brain, and the shows that I've watched about brain activity and keeping your brain young are all about stimulating your brain in a certain way, challenging yourself, learning new things. And so there are a lot of games out there now that are geared toward that. So check it out on the computer. If your senior center has a Wii, they have some of those games on there that challenge your mind. Or check out WNED's programming and see when they're going to have this program about the brain. It was very, very interesting.
Okay, great. I hope one of our viewers will call in and tell us what the commonest drug for Alzheimer's is that everybody uses. Because
Aricept.
Aricept, thank you.
I knew as soon as we didn't talk about it, I would remember.
Aricept. It'll go generic at the end of the year, and then you'll be able to get a lot cheaper. We have, I have insurance, which just went up 20%, I might add, for this. And it does cut it to $40 a month, which is helpful, having that insurance.
Yes.
God help us if we don't. And in the meantime, one other thing you can do for Alzheimer's and dementia, and as Marianne was talking about, little brain games here, get a cell phone, because cell phones reportedly, actually they will back Alzheimer's off a little bit. Not only prevents it from increasing, but it backs it off. So if you use your cell phone a lot, you will probably have regain your
Now
memory.
that's interesting, because I've heard some problems with cell phones and causing cancer.
Right.
So they encourage you to use an earpiece with your cell phone.
Well, there's another quirky thing about Alzheimer's and cell phones is that there is a direct correlation between the two. The more you use your cell phone, probably the more cancer you have, the less you have a chance of getting Alzheimer's. And if you have Alzheimer's, you're almost immune to cancer. Interesting, huh?
I have not heard that, but
yeah, that's a fact. And at least the Department of CD or whatever has worked that up. And the cell phones, they're not sure about humans, but they work on mice.
Well, mice are a far cry from our brains.
Well, they developed a special genetic match of mice that were guaranteed to have Alzheimer's, and they all came down with Alzheimer's. Then they started letting them use the cell phone, and they all got better. They improved tremendously. So they think
you'll have to send me that study, because I haven't.
Just look up cell phone Alzheimer's on your Google. It's all over the universe now.
Well, make sure that it's from a reputable site and a reputable university.
I got it from the federal site. So
okay.
Good morning, caller. We got more calls.
Let's take a few calls before I have to run.
Cell phones and rats and mice. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. And I hope everybody's staying good and warm and comfortable and not doing any heavy shoveling or anything, because that probably wouldn't be good for you.
That is not good for you.
And first off, I want to compliment your guest. They do a wonderful job. They make sure, like I'm older, of course. If you have a question and you call in there or you go in, they will answer your question, and they will keep at it until you understand what they're saying.
Can you help me? No. There's an answer.
We have a terrific staff, and they know if they said no, I'd probably be have fire coming out of my ears. But no, they're all terrific, and I don't do this job alone. We have a terrific team at Office for the Aging.
Well, sometimes
about over 25 employees, and then we have senior aides. So
hey, how about that,
we have a great crew.
Are you her mother?
No.
My mother lives in Buffalo.
But I have a question, and now the question has slipped my mind. Give me a second.
Well, that's the trouble. You need Aricept. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. Which will now go generic in the end of November.
Well, I've read pros and cons on that, and a lot of people don't think that that's really effective. They just think it's the drug.
I think it's the greatest medical swindle in the history of medicine.
Yeah, the drug companies get
There is no way to tell whether Aricept does any good at all. There's no base to tell. So you keep taking this stuff at 40. And let's see, you get 30 pills for almost $300, $250, and you assume it's doing some good. You have no way to know. There's no way to know. You could be selling snake oil. You used to do that in the Old West.
Did you remember your question?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
It concerns the health insurance, although I know it's too late now to change. My insurance went